Warning: the content you're about to receive is for the sole purpose of exposing fake trainers, doctors, nutritionists, life coaches, and wellness gurus, in addition to educate them and provide you with accurate information.
What I didn't know 50 years ago was that I was learning life lessons when I got involved in sports. But it really came in and went to another level when I got into the sport of bodybuilding. And the reason for that is because there were 4 components that were demanding in order to take and being able to compete at a world level. So in order to be effective, I had to learn everything about those components to the nth degree, not only to produce results, but to reproduce results. So, now that I'm in the industry as more of a mentor, my goal here, and for this shoot that we're doing today, is to show basically, even though that I'm talking to Tram, by the way, who is Miss Asia and Miss America, and she's also a coach for young ladies that do competitions, is what I want to show now is how, people that are successful in so many ways do the same kinds of things, even though that you have your own special way of getting to your result, but there's similarities. So what I'm trying to show in this video, what we want to show to the viewer, Tram, is that even though you come from basically a different world than I do, that there's certain things that we probably do, and those components probably impact you to some degree.
Yeah.
So I would just like to, first of all, tell us a little bit about you. When you first started, how old were you when you first started competing?
Actually, I just tell a little bit background, my background a little bit.
Yeah.
I came here in 1990.
Okay.
That's old.
Okay.
When I came over here in 1990, I just mostly I go to school. And I have to go to 2 schools. I go to the college, and then I go to beauty college too. And then that's why my time, most of the time, like study and homework and all kind like that. But I thinking need to go to school first before I start doing anything. And after that, I have a license in cosmetology. Well, just about after that, I go to work just about a couple of months, and then I open my business. And I open my business, take a lot of work, a lot of time, but that gave me a lot of challenge into the experience into the United States when you do the first time you do the business.
Right.
Yeah. And since then, I'm actually, thanks God, I'm really successful on that. Then one time, you asked me why I entered to the beauty pageant, right?
Yes.
And that back then, when I was young, about teenage, like about 18, 19, I working for the employee for the companies. They make the t-shirts, crocodile t-shirts, over there in Vietnam, and they always get me like a model.
No, I see.
Yes,
Model the
model.
shirts.
Yeah, model for the church. They pick up like a girl,
Yeah.
and to do model, in-home models. They always get me in there. And when I went to, that's why when I came over here, and a lot of people, they told me is after a few years, I'm success with the business, okay, and with the Vietnamese community. Then they told me, hey, Tram, why don't you go to the beauty pageants? I said, that's my age now, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And they said, no, you can do that. And I said, okay, let's try.
So you came back at a later age and did that. Is that
yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah.
And then that's why I did.
Okay. But when you were doing that, I know, like, because in that respect, you and I have something in common because I competed in the sport of bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So basically, we had to get up on stage in front of a bunch of people
I
in a
know.
bikini.
Okay.
Okay.
Kind of just right.
Yeah. So, but there were things in order to get up on stage like that. There were things that we had to do consistently and with discipline. Now, I'm assuming. I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming that as someone who was a competitor on stage, were you on any kind of a diet program? I mean, how did you show up and look like that? It just didn't happen, did it?
No, not just happened. You have to do a lot of work on that. When you commit, you go to the beauty pageant. You have to like commit with the diet, with the exercise, all kind. They require you have to look strong, looks beautiful,
Yeah.
not like a skinny but like weak.
Yeah.
You have to look
Fit.
more like fit.
Yeah.
And that's reason then I went to different diet program,
Yeah.
like with nutrition and exercise.
Okay, so with that being said, did you do your nutrition yourself, or did they provide you with a coach that helped you with your nutrition and your exercise, or did you figure this out by yourself?
Actually, I have a coach too, but also when I went to the college, I studied a nutritionist.
Okay.
That's why to be the nutritionist, that's why I know some of how to take care of myself.
Yes.
And then how to keep you fit.
What about your, okay, so you, as I understand, now you had nutrition, you studied that, which is usually for most people, the nutrition side of it is usually the most difficult, you know? So you're actually working at the component that's actually one of the hardest ones to do. But what about the exercise? What kind of exercise were you doing?
The exercise, I have a coach because I asked them if I want to lose like about 10 pounds. But back then I did about 18 pounds, 17, 18 back then. But I want to drop down to the 108, right? And they said, okay, you just eat right. They told me how to eat a day, and then I keep work out by running.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I run every day, sometimes 8 miles a day.
Did you do any
Yes.
kind of weight training?
And yes, and then 8 miles every day like that, or 6 miles. And then 3 days, I went to the gym to
Yeah.
do the weightlifting.
Okay, so you were on basically a very consistent program.
Yes.
And when you were going into the gym and working out like that, how long were you staying in the gym?
I training in the gyms about hours to 2 hours, depend on.
Okay.
1 hour to 2
And
hours.
then when you were doing that, were you doing weight training and also cardio? Or was that just weight training?
Both.
Both.
I do cardio first, and I do weight, and then I do cardio before I left.
Yeah. So, again, this kind of makes my point that I'm making is that I don't know about you, but it sounds, you are in a industry, especially the pageantry, and I think it applies even to your business, that you have to be willing to put a certain amount of time in.
Yes.
And consistent time, and one of the things that a lot of people do not realize, the idea of doing what you do for most people, they love the idea of it,
Yes.
but when you actually get them into it to start doing it, this is where you start finding out where most people start falling off. I experienced the same thing. People say, yes, I want this body and I want to look like this, this, and this.
Yes.
And then after about 3 months, all of a sudden, so obviously there's always more than meets the eye, because
Yes.
somebody looks at you and they go, oh yeah, well, she just had the perfect body to start with.
Yeah.
But there's way more work than
I know
meets
that,
the eye.
yes.
And
Absolutely.
So now when you started doing your pageantry, so have you been working out then the whole time? Since then?
Actually, I exercised all my life when I was a kid. And then when I came over here, so I still keep to doing that, but not consistent, just because I have studies like 14, 15 hours a day
Yeah.
and working. And that's why very hard. But when I went to the beauty pageant, that time I already settled a little bit because I have my business.
Yes.
That's why I can do that.
Yeah.
Then I really consistent with my exercise and my nutrition, not just only because they come up by myself, but I know 100% if you have to have the coach to coach you, tell you so what we need to do,
Right.
and you can get the best result.
Right.
You can do your own, but it take a longer time.
That's correct, and that's the reason why people go to you as a
Yeah.
coach, and why they come to me. A lot of
Yeah.
them, well, they need that, because otherwise, look, if you're willing to put the time in, you can do this on your own, but it's just going to take you a long time to figure it out.
Yeah, I know.
Because that's kind of where I started. When I first started doing my
Yeah.
training, I was reading magazines,
Yeah.
and reading what other people were doing.
Yeah,
But, in some cases, that almost was worse for me, because when you read about 4 or 5 different people,
Yeah.
they have their own opinion.
Yes,
So you don't know which way is the best way, and in some ways, I think I was actually more confused
Yeah.
in the beginning.
Yes.
So, but here's the good news, and I think that maybe you're telling me this as well, is that when you learn something from firsthand
Yes.
experience,
Yes.
okay, you're making yourself a much more powerful coach, because you know exactly not only what they're going to feel, but what they're thinking.
Yeah, I know.
Is that right?
Yes.
And one of the things that my clients used to tell me was that, how did you know that I was going to feel like that?
Yes, but
So-
at least you have to have experiences
Yes.
in your life,
Yeah.
and by your own, and by you study some ones out there to train you. But I, luckily for me, because I get the trainer, the coach. I went to different coaching, and they can help me to different categories like when I went to beauty pageants. And that's make me have a lot of experiences. And that's why after I learning from look like a catwalk and beauty pageant look and clothing, how to wear the clothing on the beauty pageants,
Yeah.
and they call talent. You have to fit into talents.
Yes.
Whatever talent you choose,
Yeah.
you have to very fit in on that too.
Yeah.
Not just look like they gave me sample look like you play the piano for the in pageant when you wear jeans like this.
Right, right.
That is
You got to fit the part. You got to
yeah,
dress for the
you
part.
have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I spend a lot of time, a lot of money to pay for the coach, and that's what I learned. And that is make me more like a consistent and more like a. If you say the words are powerful, yes,
Yes.
just because I keep doing that.
Yes.
And if people, after I won the title, I want the titles that everyone to look at me and they want that, just like you.
Right.
See, and because they know the person when they got that, not just only luckily they got in or they got the title, but they have to have a lot of training, a lot of commitment, time and life and money, everything
Yeah.
to that, to
Well,
getting that.
and you're talking about something that I've done a lot of these interviews,
Yes.
and something that keeps coming up. In fact, it came up in my last interview. Was this is all about trade-offs?
Yes,
know?
exactly.
It's all about trade-offs, and I don't know, like when you're talking to the people that are coming to you that want to do it for the first time. I don't know about you, but when I talk to my people and do a consultation,
Yes.
I let them really know. I paint the picture of, listen, if this is what you want to do, you have to understand,
Yeah.
here's the things that you're going to have to do. And you really have to, in that spot, that person has to be real honest with themselves
Yes.
and with you.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, with, do you have a situation where a lot of girls come in that drop off and just a few end up competing? Or do you go through a consultation process and things like that to make sure they understand
Yes,
what they're really getting into?
Exactly like that. Before the when I become the coach, right? And then when the girls they want me train them, they ask me a lot of questions, and then I said, okay, here. We need to consultations before. So I have the notes, everything, and they have to answer that to me. and the answers, and then someone there, I know I have a trick questions. I will know they will be like maintain to doing that, or they will be drop out if they have really hard.
Right.
Right. But my coach, when I trained to the girl, I did not train so many girls. I just trained for like 1 or 2 or 3 maximum, because that all of my time I can focus on them easier.
Right.
Yeah.
And as a trainer, like I know that, you know, one of the things that we have to do, which is what you're saying, you have to be able to, you know, to do that, make this, because not everybody is the same. I mean, you can
Exactly.
you could have 3 people, but you can't coach them all the same way.
Exactly.
And
because
that's-
they pick up different way.
Right, and that's really the mark of a good mentor. It's the mark of a good coach is when you can identify that. And I think it's really smart that you do that, because, you know, when I do these consultations for my people,
Yeah.
basically if they don't sign up with me, it's because they don't have the money or the motivation
Oh,
to do it. And you have to have that in both cases.
Yeah,
as you
I know. I
You
know that. But my also my girls, they have to have the money to get into program. Just because like when they go to the beauty pageant, and they have to spend different things in there, and they want to become like the success that they have to pay for, and then they have to realize they have to pay for everything before they get into the case.
Yeah.
And then that's what I did, because I know when they pay for it, they have to concentrate on that. If they just get something, I tell you the truth, something they get for free,
That
they
is,
oh, okay, that's good or not good.
that's human
they
nature.
don't, yes,
to a degree.
and they don't. And I have to do something, let them commit.
Yeah.
Okay, you pay for, you have to pay, and you have to study. If you don't study, that you waste your money.
Yeah, and you know, that's funny, because when I first started doing personal training, I used to have the people pay me, like if they signed up for a month,
Yeah.
I'd have them just pay me like after the month.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I started realizing that, you know, when I did doing it that way, people had a tendency of missing, you know,
Yeah.
canceling more often.
That's true.
So what I did is I changed it, and I said, look, if you want to work with me for a month, you got to pay me up front first.
That's
Because
true.
all of a sudden they have skin in the
Yes,
game. They feel like, well, I paid for it, I have
Yeah.
to do that, right? Same idea. So with the girls, though, are they required? I mean, I don't know, but I would think that, you know, I've watched some pageants
Yeah.
before. Do these girls, like, I'm assuming that, do they go out and actually, on their own, do they generate and earn the money to make it, you know, or do they get sponsorships or both?
They have 2 different ways, or 3, depend on. The first, they come up with their own money. The second, if they are good, know how to make the contact with the people, they can get the sponsorship from the people. And the third one, that they have to how to make make the deal with the people in their business with another business, and they can trade it. That's the 3 ways, the different thing to get the money, get to the pageant.
Yes.
And then the pageant, they are counted on that. Because if you're not a good person, how can you get money?
Right.
If you don't good the person, how you good the business person, how can you make the money?
Right.
That's a beauty pageant, they count on that too.
Well, and that's good, because the thing about that is you know, listen, when people come see me, I say, look, I'm a trainer, but I don't want you to be, for the rest of your life,
Yeah.
dependent on me. I want to give you
Yes.
the best information that I can, like
Yes.
you do, and as an organization, we're going to provide you, we're going to show you.
Yes.
But you have to be a part of that process.
Yes.
As a competitor, as a client who's coming to see me.
Yes.
But I don't want to train you to have to need me all the time. I mean, that doesn't sound like it's very smart business-wise, but I don't think that is the mark of a really good coach. Just like I don't think, like there's some of these diets that are on the market, and I'm sure you've heard of them, Jenny Craig and
Yes,
Nutrisystems.
yes.
those diets are designed to fail. You know, because people
They
don't
have to
change.
rely on that. The
Exactly.
gender, the formula, everything you have to
Exactly.
get in there.
And if you
because that's the way they make the money.
That's exactly. Well, I
But,
understand.
yeah,
I get
see,
that.
That's the way to generate the making money.
I'm very torn about that because I like making money, but I think it's, you know, for me, it's always been about, I've been a purist about the sport and about getting people in shape. When you come and sign up with me, my goal, your goal is just as important to me as it is to you. That's the way I've always been. And, you know, and I love making money, but
Yeah.
I can't do it with just making money and not giving a person everything that I've got.
Yes.
I think that's disingenuous, and I think those quick fix diets that are on the market that are designed to fail, I think it's really disingenuous because you're right. If you take a look at the studies on that, as human nature, they buy the program until
Yeah.
they get down to their weight, and then they go off. 8 months later, they're
and
in
then
worse shape
Yeah.
than when they started.
Yes.
What kind of a diet is that?
Yeah.
Or a coach? That's the basically that's a coach. So what kind of a coach are you?
That's meaning. I'm so sorry I cut you
No,
off
that's
a little
okay.
bit
Cut me off all-
because
whatever you want.
if you just, think about the different ways, right? Generates the good business mind. The second, the person when they get into the program, they are weak mind. Just because they have to rely on that, but they did not think about they can do them own. After the training, they do all kind of things, and then they need a person like you. You have a big heart. You have experience. And then you can help them because you don't count all the monies as another person like a Jenny Reg and another person, right? The generator is the sample. But if find a person at you, I will experience and then I will happy to find a person like your coach,
Yeah.
right? And then that's very good if a commitment. And I can do that. I can success.
Yeah, and that's the thing I would think that, you know, again, my goal for any client is, number one, is it's always been, every time they come in, it's always been, my job is to give you the best workout you've ever had every single time. And that, for me, has been something that has taken a lot of discipline to do. Because you know something, it's okay when you're doing it once in a while,
Yes.
you've only got a few people, but when you're doing it every day for lots of years,
Yeah.
it takes a lot of commitment to do that each and every time that person comes in, because what you're doing and what you're doing
Yes.
is you're giving a piece of yourself to that person each time.
Yes.
You know, and that's that, you know, hopefully the people feel that, and then you create something for them that they can go ahead and, again, they go and on their own. These girls, after they compete, hopefully in productive young ladies,
Yeah.
after this happens, because then I'm thinking, okay, I mean, it's all great that they are beautiful and they get up on stage, but if they leave something like that and lead
Yeah.
a horrible life,
Yeah.
and, you know, I mean, really, have you really helped them that much? I mean, you have, just like Jenny Craig has, but
Yes.
it's very temporary.
Yes.
So, you know, again, it sounds to me that you're a dedicated person and that you're all in, and you expect, because this is all about accountability,
Yes.
you expect the people that you're coaching to be all in
Yes.
or get the heck out, because
Yes.
you don't have time for this.
Yes.
Pretty much.
They said don't have. They said like no time for mess.
Yeah,
That's why you have to
well,
do it.
That's true, and, you know, and it's even gotten to the point now where, you know, again, I don't know, again, I'm not going to ask how many years you've been in this. I've been in it 40 years, you know, working with people. And you know something, over the years, and, you know, I find myself just being so much more direct, and I have so much less tolerance
Yes.
with people, because I'm tired of hearing all the excuses for why they don't do this or something like you know, like this, because people come up with so many reasons
Yes.
as to why.
The excuse.
And I like that challenge, but I've also realized in the real world, there's just certain people out there. This is a line in a movie, by the way, and I can't think of the movie.
Yeah.
There's some people you just can't reach. You
Yeah,
know,
that's true.
because they just don't want to help themselves.
That's true.
You
That's
know?
why I said when you do something, you have to strong mind
Yeah.
first. If you don't strong mind, hard to do everything.
Yeah.
See, and that's why when I training the girls, I told them, like, you have to concentrate, commitment your time, and to doing that. If you don't, you failed. And if you fail, you don't claim on me because I already told you how many hours you practice. The morning you get up, you get out the bed, you have to practice already by your own. Just not just next to you all the time to like tell you and feed you to doing that. No way.
No way.
That's why the girls they listen what I'm do, and I tell them how I success. Just because I can commitment with that,
Right.
and you now you want to coach you. That means you want to step on what I already have. That's you have to do like that.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
everything is easy. Just like you,
Right.
You become success or you become like the good trainers, good coaching just because that.
Right.
You commit to, but you have a big heart and you sometimes you train the people, but you don't get them to get them pay you first.
Yeah.
Then that's why it's hard.
Yeah.
In Vietnamese, they have the reverse. I don't know how to say it to the English, but it's something like you have to have to food your stomach first before you work, before
yeah.
you do it. If not, you're weak.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. That's a
similar
good,
like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, the thing that I've done now, and I find that human nature is really interesting. You know, and what I've learned more and more is about consequences.
Yes.
You know, they're very consequential. So I even with my people now, because I track them when they come into our facility. I have a health and fitness app that we also train people with, but anymore. The people that come to see me know that if they start missing, if they miss a certain amount, we kick them out of the program. You know, we
Yes,
don't. You know,
that's
it's
true,
just,
huh?
And they're like kids, you know, because
Exactly.
it's like spanking a kid, and they actually respond better to that. You know, you would think sometimes that handle them with kid gloves, you know,
Yeah.
because they're coming to you because they're insecure. No. I make this consequential and say, look, if I need to treat you like this as a child, then that's exactly what I'm going to do if it's going to make a difference. You know, I don't know.
I know, but you interview me now. I ask you, did you have any experience about those people?
Yeah, well, you know, I keep learning all the time. You know, it's
Okay.
really kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now that you're out of the sport and you're how do you? I mean, one of the things that we talk about in training and in nutrition is that you have to make a program for yourself. Like with me, I've stayed in shape even after being out of the sport.
Yeah.
Okay, but I had to create something that was something that I could do as a part of my everyday life. Not, if I still went into the gym and trained like I used to,
Yeah.
I put more time, into the gym because I had different goals.
Yes.
So I have to set something up for myself now, being at this stage of my career, that is something that is just a part of what I do every day.
Yes.
Is that, and actually that applies to most of the people that come to see me as clients, because if I put them on a program that's too rigid, then they just won't stay with it because they don't have the heart to do that.
Yes.
They think they do, but they really don't.
I know.
But that doesn't mean that you can't create a program.
How you can do that to
Right.
them?
You make it user
Yeah.
friendly, and you make it to where where they can still get a result. How obviously you're in great shape. So how have you created something in your lifestyle now to where it's a part of what you do? Is that what it is now?
Yes. Right now, because I know when I have a beauty salon. I work on that, right? I make the people beauty, right? But just not only the beauty one for face or hair, but I learn nutrition too. I learning about nutrition, that's why I try to help them, and I have the program for my own, the coaching to people too, but they're private. I'm not put out there to many people, but they know me and they want it, and I can help them to doing that.
And are you
Yeah.
following your own program these days?
Yes,
Okay.
I follow that, and I keep that. I keep my exercise routine and diet, and anything to make me look like healthier.
Right.
Yeah.
How many hours a week are you putting into your workouts?
A week, about mostly from 10 to the 12 hours a week.
A week?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's, and do you ever have to take like a break, like when you're traveling, or do you, when you're traveling, for example, are you still able to do your program?
Yes, and when I travel, if they have the gym, I go there to exercise for half hours or 45 minutes, depend on. If not, I just lie on the bed, and then the couch on the table, I
Right.
can do that too.
So and that's
On
really
the floor.
well. And here's the thing, and what you're really saying there for most people is that there's no excuse. Yeah, it doesn't matter that you're traveling.
I know.
It doesn't mean, because I tell my people, I said it doesn't matter that you're traveling or that sometimes you don't feel well. Just go in and just keep doing
Just keep
it.
doing that.
And at the end of the day, you're going to feel a lot better.
I know.
About
yeah.
yourself, which is important because when you do something like that, it gives you not only confidence, but it just makes you feel better about the fact that you actually overcame that little bit of adversity.
I know,
right?
but sometimes if the people they are like they keep like that, and like in travel time, it's very hard for you too because you're jet lag, right? And if you have the exercise, you feel more the energy, and then you can do the different things to
Right.
around. Because travel time, you just have only 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and you have to go many places, right?
Right.
That's why you have to keep your healthy,
Right.
and then you can go around.
Exactly. Otherwise, you can't withstand that.
Yes, because you're tired.
Here's one thing that I learned, and I still do today. Everything in life, I don't know if it's everything, but most things in life revolve around a formula, a number. Okay.
Ah.
In my, for example, in my training, I burn so many calories a day when I do weight training.
Yes.
I burn so many calories a day when I do cardio.
Yes.
I take so many calories in. Okay.
Yes.
Those are all numbers.
Yes.
So what I have done to make my life more user-friendly, and so I can eat what I want, because I love eating all kinds of food.
Like me.
I love it. And so I figured out a way that, okay, it's about at the end of the week, I'm eating certain amount of numbers of calories.
Yes.
At the end of the week, I'm burning so many numbers of calories in cardio and with weight training. I take all those numbers and I come up with, okay, this is how many numbers I have to eat throughout the week.
Wow.
Okay? So when I travel, here's what I do. I allow myself, I say, okay, when I'm gone on that trip, here's how many calories I want to eat. And I take that into the formula that I have right now, and I say, okay, I have to do X amount of calories of extra cardio and training.
Yeah.
I start doing this sometimes a month or two before I actually take my trip,
Wow.
because that way,
Because you don't get worse, right?
I don't have to worry about jet lag and training.
I know.
Okay, I don't have to worry if there's a gym or not. I've already done it all ahead of time.
Wow.
All I do is if I'm on vacation.
Well, I have to learn from you now.
Yeah, because let me tell you something that's really crazy about this. When I leave on a kind of trip like that, consequently what happens is, because I've done the extra work ahead of time, I usually lose weight before I go on any kind of a trip.
Wow.
Okay, but now I don't work out when I'm there because I've already done that ahead of time. I go do my trip, I eat because I've already factored that in. When I come back, I'm the exact same weight as when I
Wow,
left.
Jay.
All about a number. So you can
That
you can
doesn't
trust
mean
me.
you have to do exercise or something with the diet program, make you losing weight first
I don't.
before you go to.
Well,
the
I
trip-
do
the
that,
trip?
but I'm always doing weight training and,
Yeah.
and cardio. But eventually, what happens is I end up losing a few pounds
Yeah,
before I leave.
before you
and that
leave.
way,
Okay.
I don't have to worry about if I want to eat whatever I want to eat. I don't feel guilty because I
Yeah.
already did all the work. Because how many times do people say, well, God, I had this. The holidays and Christmas, and I ate too much, and now they feel guilty and they
Yeah.
feel terrible.
Yeah.
That never happens to me. I don't want to deal with that, so I do it ahead of time. You understand?
I know.
That's commitment. That's dedication.
That's true.
That's what most people
Yeah.
don't want to do.
That's why everyone have to look at Leo and then get him and they can training from him.
Anyway,
Oh, correct, right?
thank you
Yeah,
very much.
right?
Anyway, listen. I think that we in this interview we showed how, even though that we're come from different kinds of worlds,
Yes,
we're kind of from the same place.
I think it's just different worlds, but
Some
the
of those-
people they are want healthy. They try to keep the healthy different way.
Right.
Yeah. Not American do this way, but another do this way, but they still keep healthy.
They get the same
Yeah.
result.
Yes,
And I think
the same result
Yes.
like that. And that's why we're like me so when I came to the U.S. But back then, back to my country, so my Vietnam, right? I do a lot of exercise and dieting because my mom want that. And my father's, he's very athlete too. He's military. He's when they fall off Saigon, he's colonel
Oh, okay.
in the special forces, and the communists aggressed him, put in prison for 10 years.
Wow.
And after that, we applied the program. That's why we came over here.
Yeah.
Like my father's, he's get us to have to like exercise too. The weekend or after work, we play tennis or we play the table,
Oh, table
the
tennis?
tennis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or we running.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we have a we have a coffee range.
Yeah.
But on the weekend, my father took us and we run around there. It's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why all kinds of activities make us healthy. But especially my mom and my dad really keep us how to eat too.
Yeah.
And that's why we. Thanks for that. And then when we came over here, I never in my life like a heavyweight.
Right.
I don't.
And I tell you something, I'm so happy about. I was raised kind of like you. My parents were not in the military.
Yes.
Nothing like that. But I was raised on a dairy, cows, and we had to get up every morning and work and
Yes,
chores. And you know something?
yeah.
The best thing for kids, he said, because our kids in our country,
Yeah.
40% of the kids are obese,
Yeah.
horrible shape. They need to do more things like you and I did.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, listen. I really appreciate that you. You know, I know you're really busy, but I think that you did a really good job in showing and talking about what it really takes to get from
Yes.
point A to point B. You look fantastic,
Yes.
and thank you for coming on the episode.
Yeah, thank you.
Maybe we can do it again.
Yeah, thank you
Okay.
very much, friend. And then I really love to talking to you because you are
Likewise.
very good coaching. And I hope so everyone to get this and then have call you.
Ooh, what an endorsement that was. Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
If you want more information about this, click on that link below and go to my website.
Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below.